Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna make a delicious soup. It's called pho. It's a Vietnamese soup, but we're gonna make a completely raw vegan version of it. Are you ready? So let's go. Okay, so pho soup, it's like a spicy noodle soup. It's really delicious. So what we're gonna use for noodles in the soup are these zucchinis. I'm gonna go ahead and peel them first because I want them to look like noodles. If you have a peeler, it's probably easier to do it this way, but mine is broken, so I have to use a knife. Okay, so I peeled 3 zucchini. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use this tool and we're gonna go ahead and spiralize it. First, we need to cut them in half. Otherwise, they're not gonna fit the spiralizer. It's really quickly to do this. This is what it looks like. You can choose different settings of thickness or thinness. I chose this one today. And here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna set this aside. And we're gonna continue. Okay, so this is how much of noodles we got. That's a lot of noodles. Now what I'm gonna do to make them more pliable, I'm gonna use a little bit of this pink salt, massage it a little bit, and what it does, it's gonna make the zucchini release some of their juices, and they're gonna become a little bit more pliable and less crunchy, because we kind of want to have that soft feeling when we bite into the noodle. We don't expect to bite on a cucumber. So that's what I do. I'm just gonna leave it alone now. I'm gonna set it aside. I know some people like to add olive oil or stuff like that. I'm not gonna add any oil today because I want it nice and fresh and less heavy. So I'm gonna clean up and we're gonna move on to the next item. Okay, now we need to prepare the rest of the ingredients, and the next on the list is this bella mushrooms. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna cut them into pieces like that, and then we're gonna lightly marinate them. I'm just gonna cut it like this actually because it's faster. Just slice them, doesn't have to be super thin. I'm sure you can do a better job than me. I'm just trying to do a quick recipe because I'm hungry. Now, I haven't had pho soup in, I don't know, in like 10 years, I think, at this point. And I used to love it. I used to love all the fixings in it. So I've really been craving it lately. And now that it's cold outside, I decided, why not try make a raw vegan pho? It shouldn't be that complicated. Most of the flavors, they come from the spices, okay? So if we have the same spices, it should taste similar, right? Okay, so this is how many mushrooms I have so far. Now what I'm gonna do, I want the mushrooms to release the juice a little bit, and I'm gonna kind of pre-marinate them. I'm using this coconut aminos instead of the soy sauce. So I'm gonna just pour a little bit on top, and yes, I'm gonna use my hand. I'm just gonna mix it up a little bit. And we're gonna let them sit on the side as well. I have these other mushrooms. These are shiitake mushrooms. They were completely dry, so I rehydrated them. I'm gonna go ahead and slice them as well. See, these have different texture. These have slightly kind of like rubbery a little bit texture. So I'm gonna set them in this bowl. Now I soaked them in cold water for a few hours. And then I put a little bit of warm water. When you buy shiitake mushrooms, well, usually you buy them in dried form. Just make sure on the package it says only dried mushrooms, nothing else, because usually they put all kinds of preservatives in there too. And that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for to have some nice and clean and delicious recipe. We don't want to eat all these preservatives. Unfortunately, all these preservatives, they do not preserve us. They do the opposite, you know? Okay, and I am not gonna get rid of this water, okay? This is clean water, but it's just enhanced with this shiitake mushroom flavor. So we're gonna use part of it, we're gonna use for our broth. Okay, I need to clean up again, and we're gonna move on to the next ingredient. Okay, our next ingredient is these green scallions. Well, this one looks sad. Make sure your scallions look nice and bright. So I'm just gonna go ahead and chop them into small pieces. we're gonna use both the white part and the green part. Now I'm gonna try to cut it diagonally so it's gonna look prettier. And I'm gonna go ahead and set this aside in this little bowl. Next ingredient, we're gonna have jalapeno peppers. Now I'm gonna cut the whole thing. I'm gonna use the seeds and everything, okay? But if you don't like it super spicy, what you can do, you can take out the seeds because that's where most of the spice is. This is one big jalapeno. And I have one more jalapeno. I'm kind of gonna prepare all these ingredients. I'm gonna use some today and some tomorrow, so it's kind of like a little meal prep going on here again. I love to meal prep. This is one thing I've noticed when eating raw. You have to have your food prepped, because if you don't, you're gonna go and eat something cooked for sure. Because when you're hungry, you don't care. You see food, you eat it. Next ingredient I have is this little chili peppers. And these are supposed to be spicy. These are Thai chili peppers. And yes, they are spicy. So be careful. After you cut them, make sure to wash your hands. Don't touch your eyes. But they are really, really delicious in dishes, I found. I never used to like spicy food, but now I really, really enjoy it. I think it really brings up more flavor in the dishes. Let me put this in this bowl. Set this aside. Okay, we finished chopping everything. Now I'm gonna go ahead and make our broth, and now we're gonna serve. So this is what, oh wait, I forgot one more thing. We have this beautiful bok choy. I love this bok choy. You know, it's full of vitamin K, A, C, and it has some potassium and calcium. It's really, really good for you. So I just like to chop the ends off. I like to chop my food so that it's easier to eat and easier to digest, because we already have all these noodles we're gonna chew on. So I'm just trying to make it easier. This is good enough. I think now we're ready to make the broth. My bowl, here's my bowl. So here we go. We're almost ready, guys. I'm gonna use this bowl and we're gonna start pouring our ingredients. So as I mentioned earlier, we're gonna use this shiitake mushroom soaked in water. It's gonna give this umami flavor. I have a whole bunch of spices prepared. It's gonna be so delicious, so good, guys. And look, I have a tiny little whisk now. It's gonna be really cute. First of all, I need to peel this ginger, okay? And to peel this ginger, I don't know if you know, but what you can do, you can use a simple spoon, and here we go. You can easily peel this ginger. Just peel it. You know, you can actually eat the ginger's peel, but in this recipe, I don't really want to use it. I'm gonna go ahead and grate this ginger right in the broth. So next ingredient is this cardamom. I love cardamom. It gives this interesting, nice aroma. Well, you usually add it to like sweet desserts, but it should be good in this soup too. So I'm gonna add a little bit less than half a teaspoon. The next ingredient is cinnamon. I'm also gonna add a little bit less than half a teaspoon ground coriander. I love it. Half a teaspoon. Next we have ground cloves. I'm also gonna use half a teaspoon. And our 5 spice powder. Oops. We're gonna use a teaspoon of this. And one more. This is ground porcini mushrooms. The flavor they have, it's out of this world. So I'm gonna go ahead and add 1 teaspoon of this. It's gonna be a super umami flavor. Oh, it smells so good. I have more warm water that's been waiting for us. So I'm gonna add here, and we're gonna use our tiny little whisk. Mix it all together. Also, I'm gonna add to this broth more of this coconut aminos. It's gonna use as a saltiness. I got my lime. I'm just gonna quickly cut this. Lime makes a difference in every sauce. I love lime. It's so fresh, it's delicious. So I'm just gonna squeeze a little bit of lime. Okay, I got my maple syrup. So you need a little bit of sweetness just to balance all these flavors. I'm gonna give it a taste. That is much better. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and get our noodles. Oops, I forgot to tell you that we have to kind of squeeze the water out of these guys. Just squeeze a little bit. but as you can see, they are pretty pliable. Okay, so I'm gonna take a bunch of these noodles, whoops, and we're gonna put it in our bowl. Next, I'm gonna take our shiitake mushrooms, put a little bit on top. Then I'm gonna put our bella mushrooms, put a little bit on top too, and some of the sauce, a little bit of white parts from this bok choy, and some green parts as well. Gonna put some jalapeno pepper. You can put as many or as little as you like. And the same with this chili peppers. Put a little bit. That's good. This is the stuff. This is Thai basil. Doesn't look too happy, but it still tastes delicious. So I'm just gonna take these leaves and I'm gonna put a bunch of leaves, and it's gonna give this delicious, delicious flavor, guys. I love Thai basil. I'm gonna take some of the scallions, put them on top as well. Gonna go ahead and add our delicious broth. It's very lightly warmed. It's not boiling, it's not hot. It's perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and add it to our bowl. Okay, this is good. Wow, it smells so good. It's this Thai basil, guys. If you never tried it, you're in for a treat. It's so delicious. Oh my god. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and clean up, and then we're gonna go and give it a taste test. Okay, guys, the moment of truth. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a taste test and see how it tastes. All right, let's give it a go. You know what else is missing here? Bean sprouts. You know those white bean sprouts you find in Asian stores? And that's what's missing here. But, you know, the taste is not bad. It's very hard to eat in front of the camera. Oh, my soup, I think, splattered all over the table. I'm gonna use this spoon and try my mushroom. It's good. I like to pre-marinate the mushrooms before I add to any of my raw dishes. It's not a cold soup. It's not really warm right now. It's kind of room temperature. But you know what? It's not cold. And you can actually warm it up. If you have a dehydrator, or you can even warm it up in the oven. Just put it on lowest setting and just have the door open a little bit. And you can just warm it up just slightly. For zucchini noodles, I should have put a little bit more salt. And then they would have released even more water and they would become more pliable. But you know what? It's not bad. It's okay. This whole combination of all these flavors, it's really nice, guys. So there you go, guys. This is a raw vegan pho soup, or another version of pho soup. It's really not that difficult to make, but it does require just a little bit of your time. So if you crave some noodle soup, you can make it raw vegan too. It's not that difficult. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to click on the like button and subscribe down below if you still haven't done it. I would really love to have you here. And I'm gonna go ahead and leave another video somewhere on the screen so you can watch that next. And I'll see you there.